Okay, well, I kind of know how you are, but how are you?
It's definitely been a month. It's
hmm
been a lot. I've got a fancy new heart monitor
Yeah,
somewhere. I've got a life alert bracelet that's currently charging. I'm not actually wearing it, but so I've had a lot happening this month. A lot of big changes.
yeah,
How
yeah.
are you? What's new?
I feel like it's been a lot this month too, just different. Like we painted and kind of redecorated two rooms. So that was a lot. That was like 2 weeks of moving
Yeah.
everything, cleaning everything, painting, putting everything back together.
It looks good though. I know you
Yeah.
like sent me like pictures and stuff and it looks so good,
I'm not done, obviously. I still have the like fun decorating, figuring out what art to put up in my room. But
which is a big decision.
yeah, a big decision, especially because now my plans of not collecting anything went out the window and I'm collecting albums. I'm like, oh, pretty pictures put on
Yeah.
wall.
I'm not going to get any boy paper immediately
Mm.
against boy paper.
Granted, like 90% of it is thrifted, so
True. And you didn't get it for the boy paper. The
no.
boy paper was incidental.
Yes. Well, and this is our whole conversation constantly is like, oh, these CDs are not designed to be listened to as they come in a little paper envelope. And I'm like,
Yes.
excuse me? Hello? I just want to listen to this
Yeah.
music.
I have a constant temptation to like buy a bulk pack of jewel cases for the K-pop albums that I buy because it feels like they're so unprotected
I
in their little
know.
paper sleeves. And I'm just like, what happens if I take them out to listen to them? But then I see other people literally like cut them apart and create really cool art and stuff with them. And I'm like, you just got the CD, you're not even listening to it. And it's cool what they make, but I'm like, these really aren't made to be listened to
It's
at
such,
all.
I think it's a weird feeling. Like, it's a weird feeling for me because I was very much like a CD collector growing up. Like, I had my little
Yes.
CD player in my room. Like, I would always be buying like my favorite band's like next album, whatever. So, like, I always had CDs and like
Yeah.
keeping them pristine and safe was like the thing 'cause you don't want it scratched. Like, you don't want it skipping. Like, so then to get albums because I want to listen to the music and it's like, oh, yeah. Here's a little paper envelope as it is like falling out as you open it. I'm like,
Yes.
okay, like the pictures are
Yeah.
nice, the photo books are pretty. I will like agree to that, but like I bought it because I want to listen to the music on a
Yeah.
CD.
The CD's so unprotected. And see, like I had, because, growing up, like I was the main driver of my group. And so we had like the giant like case that just had like
hmm
70 CDs. And so like you lift it up and it's like you dislocate your shoulder hauling it up to the front or something. And so I'm used to like CDs not being like perfectly protected, but at the same time, it was like they were in something that kind of was made for them.
Yeah, and they
And
were
these
like
little paper
secure.
sleeves, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're not even like they're just everywhere.
Yeah, it's very it's interesting. Like it's funny too because I'll like when I'm thrifting and like looking for albums, like people, especially on Marketplace, people will be like, "Oh, it comes with all the inclusions, and you get this photo card." And then I'm like, so I will message people like, "Is the CD still there?" Because that's literally
Yes.
all I care about. Like,
That's the thing is like at half price books, a lot of times you can find albums a lot cheaper because it'll be like missing the inclusions, CD at register. And it's like, that was what I bought it for was the CD.
hmm
So if I can get the album for $5 and it also has the photo book mostly intact, that's worth the $5. So, but there's been a few times that we've gotten like the inclusions and photo cards and everything because I guess somebody bought multiple and didn't pull their bias and was like, taking it to half price books.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
take it.
like recently I told you I got Ten's first album with all the
Yes.
inclusions for
That's
$18,
wild.
including shipping, and I was like, how, especially because it's like $30 on Amazon. I'm like,
Yeah.
how are you selling this for $13 with everything? Like,
Yeah.
photo book hasn't been touched. Like, it's like almost pristine. I'm like, I mean, yeah, I'll take it, sure.
Yeah. Well, like, because you see those pictures of people who buy albums in Korea to like get the fan calls and get like the lotteries and things like that. And so you'll see like on release day just stacks and stacks of albums
Hmm.
like outside of the shops. And I just want to go and be like, I'm going to take all of these
Hmm.
and protect them and keep them safe and like give them to people who actually like want the CD or like make something from the photo books or something. Because it's just like, oh my gosh, there's so much that just like sits there. And I
I know.
understand why people like want the lotteries and stuff, but I wish there was a way that like didn't result in so much just like going to waste. And I wish someone was there like rescuing it to get to people who like want the CDs.
I think that's the thing, because like, I mean, especially here, like albums are fairly expensive. Like they're at least $30, like brand new.
Yeah.
So like for someone like me who's like, I'm not collecting PCs, like I don't really care about the inclusions, like I'm never gonna put the whole huge poster on my wall. Like none of that matters to me. So I'm like, I would take the opened, like inclusions missing album just for the CD if I could get that cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. There's got to be like some way to like get the CDs in the hands of the people who want CDs, get the PCs in the hands of people who want PCs, like
Yeah.
somehow separate albums into what people want.
It's just
But
I think it's weird too because like it's weird for me because especially as like growing up I was really into like rock, right? And like there's no photo books, there's no like there's none of that. It's
no.
just here's your CD. Like you get the
Yeah.
CD and the lyrics and that's it, right? Maybe
Yeah.
the odd time a poster, but like
Yeah.
that's it. So to have people being like, "Oh, I bought the album because I wanted my bias and I wanted this the photo cards and I'm like, "Huh? What?"
Yeah.
Like, what do you
Really?
mean?
Like I remember if I wanted a poster of Green Day, a lot of times it was like the logo. It wasn't like the
Hmm.
band. And so it's like you couldn't get like posters that were specifically like of them unless you like created those things yourself. I had a lot of like fan created stuff of Green Day on my walls as a
Yeah.
teen, or like stuff that like me and my ex-boyfriend would make as art and hang it on the wall because there just wasn't any in the album. Like that wasn't part of it, or like even in stores if you wanted it. It just wasn't
Yeah.
part of the culture of
I mean,
things.
like showing my age, but it was very much like go buy a magazine because it has a poster in it,
Yes.
or it has an article about the group that has pictures, and you can use the pictures of the poster.
Yes, the number of copies of Rolling Stone I bought as a kid, like, or like in my high school years, it was like, well, I have to. It has Fall Out Boy on it, so I have to.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Like that's where it was. It wasn't like, oh, buy the album and get all this extra stuff. It was, no, you have to go out of your way, go into like a record store and see if they have a t-shirt or if they have a poster or if they have anything else there.
And shopping for CDs was so different then too, because like I had a situation where when I was a teen, I went to the mall to buy a Fall Out Boy CD because I really liked the new single. So like I went into FYE and I was looking for um I think From Under the Cork Tree, because I had just heard Sugar We're Going Down. And I was like, I want this CD because I want to hear the whole
Hmm.
thing. And also, I really like the single. And the person working was like, I'm not going to sell you that album. I can, it's in stock. If you really want it, like I will. But I don't want to sell you that unless you buy their first CD because if I sell you the single or like sell you From Under the Cork Tree, you are going to listen to Sugar We're Going Down until you get bored of it and you're never going to listen to another thing Fall Out Boy wrote. If I sell you their first CD, you will listen to it front to back. You'll realize you really love everything that they made. It will be so good. You will enjoy it. And then you can come back and get From Under the Cork Tree and you'll actually listen to the whole album. And like talking to them in store
Hmm.
is what made me like go, okay, yeah, I want the first album. The first album was even cheaper because it was older. And like we had like that kind of recommendation system where like I knew this person liked this band and knew more about this band than me. It made me go, okay, I'm going to buy your recommendation because you know what you're talking about. You've listened to them. And the first album to this day is my favorite Fall Out Boy album and probably one of my like top 10 albums of all time.
Yeah.
Like I love that album more than anything on From Under the Cork Tree. And I feel like to some degree we are missing so much of that in
Hmm.
like modern music culture. Like, yes, you get your recommendations from friends and stuff, but so much of it is like marketing or buying the latest release or like buying, because now like bands will make like, it's the Taylor Swiftification where there's like two extra songs on every album and there's 10 different editions of the album.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and K-pop is notorious for that too, where you have like 15 special editions and like you have, ATEEZ had like how many I have two different editions of the same ATEEZ album
Hmm.
that I thrifted that have the exact same songs. It's just different photos in the photo book.
Yeah.
But I feel like there was just like this personalization kind of the shopping experience when it was more like in store.
Hmm.
And that was like, it was a music store, and someone had listened to almost everything in that store and could tell you what their opinion was.
Yeah,
It
I
was
do
so
think
different.
like there's a level too of like people not listening to a full album. Like it's very much
Mhm.
you listen to like the title tracks or like the single and that's kind of it. Whereas, if you bought a CD, you would just typically play the whole thing, right? Because like you're not going to
Yeah,
skip around. You're just going to press play and it goes.
exactly.
So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, and like, I mean, people are so visual, and that was a thing back in the day too, because you'd have like MTV and like only certain songs would get music
Mm,
videos and stuff. So I get that's a thing and has been a thing forever as long as singles have existed. But in order to get the single, you'd have to buy the whole album at one point.
yeah.
Like potentially you could, some people released a single that had like two to three songs on it and then also had the album. But for the most part, you'd be like, why spend $4 on a single when I can spend 10 on the whole CD?
Hmm.
Um, and so I think now people are very visual and go like, oh, I love this music video. I'm going to stream this song.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm going to buy the CD because the CD, if you buy it, it just sits there on the shelf the whole time and you don't touch it because they're streaming. And so you don't stream the whole CD.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's, I don't know. That's the hard thing.
I mean, as we go on this music tangent, I'll say we're doing our wrap up. So since we're already here, we'll just start with what we're listening to this month.
Yes.
Can we
Okay.
just go there?
Yeah. I have the one thing that I should be listening to. Skiz has a new comeback.
Mm,
I watched all the promo videos, but I haven't had time to sit down and listen. And I feel like if I can't properly listen to it front to back, I want to wait, which is what we
yeah.
were just talking about. Like, I don't want to just sit there and be like, okay, well, there's a music video. I'll watch the music video. I want to listen to the whole thing.
Hmm.
And I haven't had the opportunity to. So I still haven't listened, but I'm going to.
You will,
So.
of course, eventually. It'll
So that's my
happen.
one thing I'm excited about, but I have not, I guess it's not a wrap up if I haven't listened to it, but it exists and I want people to know it exists.
I mean, my wrap up for music this month, like this is the thing. So because I'm getting into physical music, my stats are going to be so like out of whack because it's just going to be stuff that I do not own, basically, that I'm
Yes.
listening to like streaming, and everything else will be on a CD that I listen to. So obviously still listening to One OK Rock, like
Of course.
of course. But then now that I have a couple albums, I've been listening to Stunner a lot because I got the album for that. So I'm just playing that. And then World by The Rose. And also I got 4444 by Woo-sung. So I've been listening to those three like a lot.
I was so excited when you messaged me and said that you got 4444. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you.
Especially because like when it came out, like it was not at all what I expected it to be. And then I just was like obsessed with it. Like I just constantly, this is one of those albums that like you can just have on repeat forever and like you never get tired of, at least for me. Like I never get tired of hearing it. So I'm like, I think I just need to own it because I listen to it so much that it's worth the price.
Yeah, you're gonna need to like have some sort of physical media tracker or something in a journal that's like, these are the albums that I listened to today or
Yeah,
something, and put like tally marks or
I
something so you
know.
have your own stats.
I know that's the problem. Like, because I love keeping the stats of my music. Because like I do not remember what I listen to. Like it goes out of my brain unless it's something that I'm really obsessed with. So I love being able to like track. Like, oh, I listened to this artist the most for the month or whatever. But with
Yeah.
physical media, it's like, oh, that's all gonna be on me now to remember. And I do not have the
Yeah.
memory for that.
Yeah, you're either going to have to make some kind of like spreadsheet or tally mark or stream it at the same time you listen to it physically
I
or
know, right?
something.
And
Like
maybe I'll just put
somehow
like
get the
sticky
stats.
notes on each like album and like just check off every time I
Check off
listen
every
to
time.
it.
Have to DIY stats at this point.
I know it's bad. It's
So
bad. So
funny.
I'm like, I'm never gonna remember, but I know I'm gonna listen to it a lot. But this is the thing, my stats are gonna be so messed up by the end of the year because as I get
Yes.
more albums, I'm not gonna listen to those streamed. So then it's just gonna
Yeah,
be like the stuff that I don't have, or like if I'm cleaning or whatever, I have a certain playlist, but it won't be anything else.
exactly. I feel like we're like reinventing the mixtape because you're gonna eventually be like, I bought a blank CD and put my cleaning playlist on it or something.
And I'll have to get like a CD separate CD player burner thing because my computer
Yeah.
doesn't have one.
Yeah, my computer literally doesn't even have a CD port, and I'm like,
No.
we are losing media, and it's
Because
sad.
they got rid of them. Like I think the
Yeah,
last two laptops I've had, maybe two or three, haven't had a CD player at all.
you have to buy a physical CD player now if you want CDs, and
I
it's
know. It's
crazy.
wild. It's wild.
Yes. Well, see, in terms of music, I know like I don't know how much of it got is gonna get cut, but Kiddo came in and was like, I got super into Yuta, and that's the thing is like he has gotten so into Yuta lately, and for me, it's really nice because I was listening to a lot of Yuta and then like I've been listening to other stuff that's come out since. And so it's kind of like all of his music is kind of like fallen down on my playlist
Mm,
aside from like a couple of songs that stay in the rotation. And so it's really nice, like as my kiddo gets into something that I was into, having those things like get pushed back to the top of my rotation and being like,
yeah.
hey, we're in the car and now he's playing this, so I'm gonna listen to it. And being like, oh my gosh, I forgot how much I love this. So that's been like heavy in my listening too, is like all of the Yuta stuff that I did listen to like a few months ago is getting pushed to the top again.
I do also love that that's entirely my fault.
It is. It is entirely your fault because like you are like, oh my gosh, you got to see this and you got to hear this. And then like I start listening to it and I listen to it around the house and everything, or I listen to it in the car. It'll be like, because one thing that we do when we go to appointments is if it's an appointment for me, I get to pick the songs. If it's an
Mm,
appointment for him, he gets to pick. Or if we're just like driving somewhere, like we went to the movies last night, we switch back and forth and we each like ping pong who picks the song. And so he ends up having to hear it a lot because like you've gotten me hooked on it and then that gets him hooked on it and he's like wait a second, this song's stuck in my head now, and so like a couple months later he'll get super into it,
yeah.
and so it is entirely your
I
fault that
know.
we're all now hooked on
My
him.
alt bias has now taken over everybody else.
Yeah. Like our whole household is now like Yuta everything. And it's so funny because he'll like find a piece of media with Yuta in it and be like, look, did you see this live performance? And he'll send it and he'll be like, send it to Alex. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Alex has consumed anything even remotely Yuta related, but
Yeah.
thank you.
I mean, I did hunt down the movie and the drama that he was in, so like I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I've seen it all at this point.
Yeah. But I
Uh,
enjoy watching it over again when he's like,
mhm.
look, you have to see it. I'm like, sure.
I mean, he's a
Yuta
great
performing live on
performer.
stage, I'll take it.
Yeah, any day, anything, whether it's in NTC 127 or solo,
Mhm.
we'll take it all because he's amazing.
Exactly.
Ugh.
There's nothing he can't do.
And he's one of the ones I need physical copies of, which is the worst because they're
Yes.
Japanese. And I'm like,
They're hard to
Japan,
find.
let me get them, please.
I have been keeping my eye out and I have had no luck
You never will, I promise you. I'm like, I don't know a Utami that would like just
get rid of
donate
them.
their stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, at least not at this point.
Yes.
It's too new.
I know. I do have CDs I need to mail to you. And I think I said that last month too, and I still haven't made it to the post office.
Neither of us have. It's just, they were literally across the street from them and we just don't go.
Yeah, like I can see it and I can't get there. I even have it like already in envelope. So it just
Hmm.
like has to go in the mail. Your address is on it. I just
Yep.
haven't physically taken it.
I know. I know. One day it'll happen.
this is okay, so this is music adjacent, and
Mm.
this is not sponsored, but look what I got.
Oh my God. So
It's a
cute.
Hankwaka plush, and he is weighted, and he has a pouch that can make him heated, and
Oh.
he's lavender scented.
Oh, wow.
I got it from a local creator called Beyond the Shirt, and like it's not, they're one of my favorite. I met them at a cup sleeve event a few years, like over a year ago.
Hmm.
And every time they have a drop, I'm like, there goes my entire budget for the month. We got Wolf Chin and Hankwaka, and it's so soft. And so, like, if you just see me like hugging it, it's been my constant go-to comfort right now.
Yeah.
And I have so many from them too, because I've got Bakari weighted
Cute.
plush, I've got Dwecky weighted plush, I've got uh Jingrami. I have a Songwa one in the other room, but like my cats, it's like this big, so my cats steal it all the time.
Oh my God.
Annie thinks it's her baby and she'll like put it in her mouth and by the ears and carry it around. And so it's like just gone. But yeah, this is my new one and I'm just like obsessed. It's
I love
music
it.
adjacent. I have to talk about it.
It's good. It's close enough. It's fine. Okay. Should we move on to series, what we've been watching?
Yes, we should. I've not been good about watching series this month. I can tell you that much.
Mm-mm. No.
It's been
No.
crazy.
It has been.
I'm still watching 10 Things to Do Before I Turn 40, which I know we talked about last month, so I won't be
Hmm.
like talking forever about it. And then I started a series, The Proper Way to Write Love, and I really want you to watch it because it's really good.
It's on my list.
It's got all of the elements you need because, like, okay, so there is a cosmetologist.
Mm.
Like, this guy walks into his cosmetology shop and like goes to get a haircut, and he recognizes the guy asking for the haircut as this like popular guy who kind of bullied him in high school with his whole group. And like he was so, when he was younger, he was so nerdy and like super into flowers and like so awkward and everything. And you can kind of tell in the first episode that Mr. Popular Bully Guy liked him and wanted to confess, but like his friends were not having it.
Hmm.
And so he would just kind of like follow along with the crowd. And he was like, "Ugh, yeah, he's so stupid. Like he's so boring and everything." But he kept seeking out times to be with him and being like, here, let's wear matching shirts and all of this crazy stuff. And it's like, you definitely like him. You're just not wanting to also get bullied with him. And so he comes in and does not know, he does not recognize the hairstylist at all. He's like, he just instantly is drawn to him. And he's like, it's love at first sight. You should date me. And the hairstylist is like, yeah, I'm going to date him and then I'm going to break his heart and it'll be revenge for all
Oh
of the bad ways
no.
he treated me in school. Like it'll be revenge for everything. And so you've got revenge dating, you've got fake dating, but only one of them knows that it's fake dating. You've got reunion and only one of them knows it's a reunion. You've got like nerd plus bully kind of vibes. It's like all of the tropes in the best ways. And then you have like both of them have changed each other's lives for the better, but like without realizing. And like one of them changed the other one's life for the better by being like, oh my gosh, you're so horrible, like so boring, you're so pathetic. And so he like had to outgrow his patheticness.
Mm.
And the other one was like, so studious and everything that like it made the like bully kind of guy be like, I'm going to study, I'm going to learn. Like at one point he's like, yeah, when I was younger there was someone who taught me how to read kanji and that's what like made me want to study. And it like weaves in flashbacks of it and it's like, oh, you both changed each other's lives for the better. And it's so cute because the bully guy tries cooking for him and has no idea what he's doing, and you can tell that it's horrible. So he's like, here's your breakfast, and it's like braised fish head, and he's just like trying to choke it down, and it's horrible.
Oh my
It is the
God.
show and I can't get enough of it.
Wow. That sounds adorable. It is on my list of things to watch, but of course, like, there's 1,000 things on that list. So,
There's so much. So like,
um, one of the shows that I've been watching, I haven't finished. I think there's one more episode left I need to watch. It's another like short Chinese BL because like I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something this year. Like they're
something in those.
so it's Lost in Kyoto, and it's actually the same company that did Trapped in Osaka and A Sketchy Job.
Okay.
So it's basically about this guy who is like a wannabe actor, and he's friends with this guy who's a director. And like both of them are kind of, down on their luck. Like they're not really getting anywhere in their careers. So they decide to make this kind of really low budget short film together. And it's a BL short film. So obviously there's a little bit of like lines getting crossed, like the things are getting blurred. And it's so interesting because within the show, like you see them filming, but even as the viewer, like the line of what's filming and what's like not filming starts to get really blurry because you're like, wait, are they filming? Because they'll come into a scene and stuff will be happening. You're like, oh, okay. And then the director guy will call cut and you're like, oh, this was filming. This wasn't real. Like the line is so blurry. It's so interesting. And they both have like other relationships and other people and like, oh, it's so messy and it's so blurry that I'm like, I don't know. There's something about it because you can just see that like both of them at different points are kind of like, where's the line? Like what is acting? What is real? Like what do I do in this situation? And then, there other people kind of get involved. Like it's just a mess and it's great. I'm eating
Yes.
it up.
You know, I love any show that has like that meta show within a show kind of vibe,
Yeah.
where it's like, what is on-screen chemistry? What is chemistry, like within the context of the show? So you've got
Hmm.
like these layers of depth of like, and then if you then go and watch like anything that they do outside of the show and like any fan interactions, it's like you've got like three layers deep of this, like, what is the chemistry? I can't deal.
Honestly, the company that's doing these, I think it's called like Secret of Us, like the YouTube channel. I think it's called The Secret of Us. I don't know what they're doing, but they're picking actors who have so much chemistry with each other. Like every single series they have, the chemistry is like off the charts. And literally 4 episodes, I'm like, I need 12,000 hours. I need to see them living like the entirety of their lives together because the chemistry is like off the charts. Like it's so mind-blowing.
Yeah. And this isn't talking about a specific series, but speaking of like, I want to see 1,000 hours of them. How many season twos have been greenlit of like
Oh
shows that
God.
we love? Like, I
Yes.
have been a firm like anti season two kind of thing because I like the contained storyline of like, okay, we got the story, it's done, whatever. Like, I'm ready to
Hmm.
move on to the next show, especially when there's so many things to watch. But there are so many things where I'm like, oh, I could watch 1,000 hours of you. And now we get a season two, and I'm like, I need it now.
I
Give it to
know.
me.
I know. It's a lot. Like, especially Japan. Like, Japan is coming back with so many sequels, and I'm like, since when? Like, when did this happen? Like, this is
Yeah.
wild.
Like, how did this become a thing? I don't know, but I'm kind of here for it because I kind of want an extra season.
I mean, I'll watch anything. Like, I want to see them again, you know? Like,
Yes. So I have two other things that I've watched lately, and one is like a good segue into books, so I might hold that.
okay, I have one more that I've
Okay.
watched.
Okay, because my other thing that I've watched is something that we did talk about last month. And this is not the one that segues into books. It's like we did talk about K-pop Demon Hunters last month.
Hmm.
Obviously not a series. Yeah, and obviously not a series, although it has been greenlit for two sequels. We went and saw it in theaters last night, and one craziest thing happened because we booked in a sold out theater. They had like six different showtimes, and all of the showtimes sold out.
Hmm.
And we got these seats and we sat down and like partway through, the people next to us come in and sit down, and they're literally our neighbors who moved out like a year ago. And like out of all of the show times, all of the seats, we end up sitting next to our neighbors who
Wow.
moved out and being like, wait a second, we know you. Hold on. And it was just so weird because like we're sitting there and it's like, we didn't know you were into this. That's so weird. So that was awesome. And then the second thing was it was a sing along,
Mm.
which one, I think I realized that like a lot of kids were into this, but I think as an adult fan, I didn't realize how many like young kids were into this. And we went to like a 7 p.m. showing, so I was shocked that there were like literal toddlers in the theater. But then there was also like this couple that was like 80 and they were there alone. Like it was them enjoying it, rocking out on them like by themselves. You got these octogenarians who are like, we're here for K-pop Demon Hunters. We're not here with our kids or grandkids. Like this is our thing. And so it's like you had the full spectrum of
Yeah.
ages. Um, People brought light sticks from different bands. At one point near the end of the movie, people were literally like taking their phone flashlights and doing this. People were like screaming and shouting like after your idol, one person is like, Saja boys suck, and all this stuff. It was so funny. Like, because you have those things in when you see a movie where it's like you have those like really disruptive screenings, like where people
Hmm.
were doing the jockey trend and stuff in the Minecraft movie. But it was like this was built for fan interaction. It
Hmm.
was like more like a concert than a movie. And so you had people like interacting in a way and like singing and like there were kids getting up and doing the choreography in the aisles of the theater and stuff. It was so fun just to see how much like everyone is like so brought together by this movie
Yeah.
and obsessed with it. And like it made the experience better. It
That
was so
sounds
good.
so fun. So it reminds me of like the Rocky Horror Picture Show screenings where they do
Yes.
similar things.
Yes, exactly. I really do wish that because like Alamo Draft House, we don't have one near us that was doing a screening. They were doing where they had like props and stuff, like light sticks, that they were
Hmm.
doing like interactive moments with the film. And it was very much, they had like curated the Rocky Horror vibe. This was more like people had like DIY'd the
I
vibe.
mean, that's actually almost like I feel like is almost better because it's like
Yeah.
just like natural community feeling of like people wanted to do this.
Yes. And that's the thing is like when you think about how Rocky Horror kind of started with the vibe, a lot of that was people would DIY it. And then theaters were like, oh, we're going to lean into this because it's so
Hmm.
popular in this. Because like my mom worked in a theater when Rocky Horror was like at its peak and they would do the showings and stuff. And they like suddenly had to start providing props and stuff because it's like, well, it's going to happen anyway. Let's make
Yeah.
sure everyone's on board. And so it's like one of those things of like people DIY'd it and then it became a thing. And so I think like by the time they get like movie two, movie three, like theaters are going to be like, we're going to make it a thing.
Yeah.
But I like that it's like very fan created atmosphere at this
That's
point.
cute. That's so nice.
Yeah, made me so happy.
Okay, my last one is not really like it's not a BL, but it has some like queer elements. But it's Don't Care for an Old Man's Underwear, which I've told you about it because I'm like, you need to watch this. So
Yes.
basically, we follow Makoto, who is like a middle-aged, like 40 somethings office worker, like very traditional views of like kind of sexist, kind of homophobic, like very like old school office workery mentality. Um, but so his son is like not going to school anymore, is like refusing to leave his room, isn't talking to anybody. So they're like as a family trying to deal with like what's going on, why isn't he going to school? Like did something happen? And his son has like, so his wife's friend's son comes over, Daichi, who happens to be a gay university student. And Makoto kind of finds out that he's gay and like flips out. And he's like, why are you with my kid? Like, I don't want my kid to get the gay from you, whatever. And Daichi is kind of like, it's not the cold. Like, what are you, like, he's kind of like laughing at him, like, okay, sure, whatever you think. So, but then the son is kind of like, Dad, I don't never want to be somebody like you when I grow up. Like, I don't want to be like you at all. So the whole like kind of beginning of the show is a scene that like Makoto is like so disconnected from like the world today and like his employees and his family doesn't want to talk to him, doesn't want to engage him like in their lives. So Makoto realizes that if he keeps behaving this way and keeps up with these like thoughts and like viewpoints of the world, he's kind of going to be a burden to society and like lose his family. So one day he ends up running into Daichi again, and Daichi's kind of like, well, why don't we just be friends? Like, then you can say you have a gay friend, and you can like upgrade your life, you can upgrade yourself. So the whole show is like following him, following Makoto, trying so, so hard to like rethink everything he knows and like change his opinion and his viewpoint, because he's starting to notice like, oh, when I walk into a room at work, all my employees stop talking. Like they were having fun and they stop when I walk into the room. Or they don't want to come out to lunch with me. They don't want to go to dinner after work. Like he's starting to notice all these little things that he didn't notice before, that like he's very much on the outside of the people around him. So between, him kind of going to Daichi for advice and help, and Daichi actually starts going to him for help, they like create this really beautiful like friendship, even though they're, generations apart. And they start learning from each other and like growing. And we see that like Makoto becomes closer with his family and starts learning about like what his family likes and why, they weren't telling him things, and like how he can change and be better. And like it's just such a sweet show because you see him trying so hard, and like obviously he makes mistakes and he like screws up a number of times, but he's still given the like space to learn and people to go, "Hey, that's not actually good. Like I know you're trying and you didn't know, but like you shouldn't say those things, or those things aren't, appropriate, whatever." And he can readjust and like learn from it. It's just it's so sweet, and like the way they talk about things is very much like you don't have to understand it. Like you don't need to get everything, but you can be accepting, you can be tolerant, and you can still accept people even if you're not interested in what they're interested in, or you think it's weird or whatever. So he starts to see like why his daughter loves manga, or why his son likes cute things instead of manly things, or all these little things. Just it's adorable. It's so sweet. And like I think it's so kind of hopeful, and seeing like, a middle-aged guy who was like very much what we all, don't like is like the guy with really stereotypical viewpoints, but he like works so, so hard to change and grow. And he seems to like enjoy life the more he learns about other people and learns to change his viewpoint.
Yeah,
It's
that
amazing.
sounds so good.
It's honestly so sweet. And like there's even a point where like so his wife is into this J-pop group and they like just debuted, like they're brand new, and he's kind of like, you're an adult. Like why are you into, these idols? Like I don't get it, whatever. And eventually he kind of like accepts like, oh, like this is something that makes her happy. She is a part-time worker at a like food restaurant place, but she spent most of her life taking care of her kids, and that's like what gives her joy. So he is like, okay, like I'll take you to the concert, their first ever concert. And like he comes away like wanting to know more and being like, oh, I see why you like them. Like I understand now. And it's like, oh, let's watch the DVD together when we get home. And like it's just so sweet, like how he grows as a person and how like his family and friends around him like kind of grow with him, but also be like, hey, I remember you used to suck, and I'm so glad you don't suck anymore. Like they acknowledge that he was not a great person in the beginning and that he grew to be a better person. It's just
See,
sweet.
that sounds so heartwarming.
It's so good. Like, I think too, it's very realistic because it's not like overnight he changed or he didn't make any mistakes or whatever. It's like, it's very much like he struggles to change and he kind of falls back on his old ways and he goes, oh no, I said something I shouldn't have because like I used to say things like that. I shouldn't have said that, but he said it anyway. So, like, you
Yeah.
see him actually like working to change, and it's not an overnight thing. Like, it does take time. But it's just so sweet. Like it's so nice.
That's awesome. I really like those kind of like slow growth things where it isn't overnight and you recognize like the character is changing over time. You
Hmm.
recognize that it's not an easy process or an instantaneous one. Um, because like right now, that's kind of my last one that I've been watching is we've been rewatching Ted Lasso, and the characters in that, like even the ones that are super positive, like Ted, who are just like super upbeat and everything's wonderful and everything's great and he's so kind to everyone, that's used as a shield. And
Mm.
so, like, as you go through the first season and even the other seasons, as that shield gets broken down and you see why he's so positive all the time and the trauma that he's endured and the pain that he has and how he uses that positivity to hold people at arm's length, you see when he does start to kind of accept some of that as like, oh, I am using this and that's the problem in a lot of my life.
Yeah.
It's like I really like those of like you see that slow growth. So you see some characters who are super negative start to get more positive, and some characters who are really positive start to go, okay, am I positive because I want to be positive, or am I positive because it's a shield?
Hmm.
And not that they get more negative, but maybe like they embrace the fact that not everything is perfect all the time and things like that. So having that like rewatch vibe has been my whole thing lately. And I think I'm on rewatch vibes because they've been filming the fourth season not that far from me.
Right.
So I'm like big onto that. And I never watched season three when it was first out at all, but it first opens on a character who wakes up next to a man. And so I am pretty sure that this season kind of involves him coming out to his team, which means like
Mm.
I think season three is like particularly gay. So like um Ted Lasso in general, not a BL, but we have a character in this who is on the soccer team, which is super masculine, and wakes up in bed next to a man who he clearly has an established relationship with, but is not out to his team. And so it's like, okay, that's number one. That's going to be a journey. And number two, you have a character who she has been with men in the first two seasons of the show, ends up like in an encounter with a woman in the third season. So it seems like the gayest season of the show yet. And I don't know where it's going because I haven't finished it.
Yeah.
But obviously, it has like taken up my whole everything because like this has been my reading lately. I have Blue Lock, which is soccer manga.
Hmm.
I have the Ted Lasso unofficial cookbook because I've been seeing like the biscuits and things like that from the show. I have in the other room, for school, we're reading Believe, which is like the Ted Lasso story that has like all these cast interviews and character interviews and
Yeah.
everything. And like it breaks down the pilots and or like the episodes and like it'll be like pilot, like this is what it was about and this is the core and like this is what they were talking about in the writer's room when they were writing it. And like this is kind of the line that like won the hearts of everybody in this episode and like the most quoted line. And here's like fun facts about the episode. So it's like very meta.
Mm.
Because I've been checking out a lot of like media analysis from the library lately. I think because of this podcast, I've been like, because I have like in my bag over there, I've got The Making Behind Shaun of the Dead. I've got a book called The Brainwashing of My Dad, which is all about like a parent who got like sucked into the Fox News culture and like
Mm.
radio news, like Rush Limbaugh stuff, and like how it made them angrier.
Right.
I have a book that's on hold right now that's all about reality TV. And so it's like I've been like really big into like books on meta-analysis of shows lately. So I wonder why.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, but like Ted Lasso has me changing my entire thing. I've got a book right now that I just started called When Grumpy Met Sunshine, and it's a soccer romance. I have another one that like is about this girl who works for the Miami Flames or something, which is a fictional MLS team,
Mm.
and like has a big scandal. So her dad sends her to this like small town kids soccer team to do philanthropy, and she has to like meet with this like grumpy retired goalkeeper. So like all of my reading list is soccer right now in some way or another. And it's all Ted
Amazing.
Lasso's fault.
I mean, perfect segue into what we're reading, since we already know what some of your reading choices are, just soccer related and
Soccer and
media
media.
analysis.
What are you reading?
Um, okay. I got sucked into the Scum Villains self-saving system. This one.
Yes.
So it's basically like a danmai about this guy who was reading like a stallion novel. So stallion novel is like where the main character's like way overpowered and like nothing ever happens to them and they have like a huge harem of women and like basically like, super dude bro kind of fantasy story, right? So he was reading the story and like basically was a major hater of the story and he dies and gets sucked into it. So it's like a transmigration story. So like his soul goes into one of the characters, but he ends up being in the body of like one of the villains who ends up being killed by the main character, by the protagonist of the story. So it's like one of those stories where it's like there's a system that's like, oh, you need this many points and you have this many missions and like that kind of thing where he's kind of like a video game. So his whole goal is to like basically not get killed in the end. He's like, I just don't want like what happened to my character to happen because like I am now the character. So he does everything to try to avoid it. But it's very much like a parody of the Stallion novel. Like it's making fun of like how those stories typically go and like what, because he knows the whole story, right? So he's like, oh, this is when this happens, and oh, that girl is supposed to be part of the harem in 5 years, and like he's very much like calling out all the little things that he knows are gonna happen. But it's also like the further we go, it's like a parody of like the BL novel and like all
Oh
because
my
over time because he's different he's changing the story, right, and he's changing the characters around him because he's not behaving the way his character is supposed to behave, right? So we're like getting little inklings and then he's like, oh, why does this character like me now, they're supposed to hate me, and like all these little things, and it like I mean, it's totally out there because it's very much like the kid he's in charge of is like half demon. The cultivators hate demons. Like there's the war between them, all of this stuff. And like the kid he's in charge of is the overpowered protagonist. So it's like obviously no spoilers, but like, things
God.
happen. People
I
die,
can imagine.
whatever. So I have the last book to read. It's waiting for me to go pick it up at the library, and I'm like screw like I'm eating these up. Like I've been in a slump for months. Like you know this. I've like barely been reading anything, and I've been reading these in like 2 days. Like I just can't stop. Like I'm just like flipping. I need to like consume it with my entire soul.
I love it. The thing is like the way you describe it, it's kind of almost giving the show two worlds where like you get sucked into this other space, but like the way you interact with the space kind of changes the story. And like the people who you think are supposed to behave a certain way, like aren't
Hmm.
behaving the way you think. Because in that show, you have like this relationship where he's like so in love with this person and he gets sucked into this like other alternate world. And so he's like, well, I have to save this person because I know he's going to die.
Hmm.
And the person who's helping him is the person that he suspects like killed him. And he's like, wait a second, why are you treating me nicely? And he's like, well, obviously, because I love you. Like, we're together. And he's like, no, like, you're my enemy. Like, what are you talking about? And
Yeah.
having to like overcome that and work with him to save this person he thinks he loves, but also realizing, like, is this like I'm feeling attached to this person? Like, how does
Hmm.
this change things? It's so interesting to see how like I think I know how this story goes, but my interaction with the story
So
changes the story.
this is the thing that I love is like the first volume, it's very much he's trying to figure out the world and like survive, right? And like figure out what he should do and what his limitations are with the system. Because like he can't do certain things or he's like blocked from making certain changes. Like there's certain plot points that have to happen kind of thing. but he's trying to obviously be different than the character was originally. So the first book, like for me, it was kind of slow in the beginning. Like I think the first, half to like two-thirds or whatever was kind of slow. But at the very end, like the twist that came at the end, I was like, okay, like I'm here. I need it all. Like what is gonna happen? Because it just like a switch flipped, and I was like, oh, we're getting some kind of horror vibes, like action, like twists about different characters and different people. And it gets to a point where like the main character doesn't know what's gonna happen anymore. Like the story has changed so much that he's like, I'm trying to use my knowledge to move forward, but I don't even know if it's going to work because I don't even know if these things are accurate anymore because so many things have changed around him. Oh, it's so good.
It sounds really good.
It's so good. I'm sad that I'm going to finish it, but also I'm like I need to know what the ending is. It's so good.
I have to see if my library has it.
Yeah, it's good. It's great. Like, cause you'll like it because it's very much that like parody kind of meta. Cause he like in the story, like his monologue in like throughout different parts is kind of like, oh, we're at this stupid point where they do this because he knows what's gonna happen. Like he's so like bitter and sassy about the fact that he got sucked into the story because he's like, I hated this story so much. Like, why am I here now? Like, it's so good. It's just so funny. It's great.
I love it because it sounds like we've both had such very clear through lines in our media
So
right
I
now.
think
It's interesting because you have been like on this kick of like meta sort of themes in what
it's.
you're watching and reading, where like you're watching a show that's very like meta. You're watching a show of like, all of this like transformation and things like that. And then you're also like reading this book that's all very kind of like meta parody kind of vibes. And I have very clearly been on a sports kick because the other book that I read this month was All's Fair in Love and Field Hockey by Kit
Yeah.
Rosewater. And it is YA sports romance. Basically, the main character, Evelyn, has her mom passed away, and her mom had like all of these very specific goals, right? So her mom played field hockey. Her mom married the quarterback of the football team. Her mom was like on the mission to go to Duke and then play professional field hockey. But like she ended up not getting to play professional field hockey, kind of fell short of that. I think because of starting a family, but then her mom passes away. And so Evelyn is determined that like her goals for her life are to be great at field hockey, marry the quarterback that she's dating, move on toward like going to Duke, and then become a professional field hockey player. Like she's
Mhm.
got her life mapped out, and it's exactly the path that her mom planned for her when she was like 12 and her mom died. Um, but her grades are kind of sucking. And so, like, the only way she can get into Duke is if she does really well, um, and wins nationals and gets in like sports scholarship. And she's on track to do that, except for this other team at this girls' boarding school gets this field hockey player who is like incredible, like
Mhm.
an absolute like ringer. Like, people are like, they recruited her just to slaughter everyone in field hockey. And so everyone like absolutely hates this girl. And she's like locked in. She's like, I can figure it out. Everyone calls me the no goalie because I don't let any goals in. Like, there's no goals allowed when I'm here. And this girl like gets close to her to make a shot. And all of a sudden her brain just like fries. And she's like, she has a ribbon in her hair. She has a tattoo on her thigh. And it's like the most gay panic to ever gay panic. But she doesn't recognize that's what's happening. She's like,
Yeah.
this is my rival. Like, I hate her. These are all the things she's doing wrong. Like, why does she have this ribbon in her hair? It's just to mess with my head. She's doing this just to mess with goalkeepers. And it's like, no, honey, that doesn't mess with any other goalkeepers. It's just messing with you because gay panic. um, and so she's having like this crisis, basically. And all of these things start happening where like the other team trashes their practice field. And so she goes to get revenge. But in trying to get revenge, she like runs into this girl, and this girl is like, by the way, this is your mistake as a goalkeeper. Like, you can't defend a slap shot to save your life. Like, let's practice. And so they start sneaking around,
Mm,
spending more time together. And
yeah.
she's like, I already have my whole life mapped out. I'm going to marry the quarterback. I'm going to go to Duke. I'm going to be a professional field hockey player. Why is this girl ruining my entire plan? And it's like, because maybe your plan is built on grief and not on what you really want with your life. And so then there's this whole thing of like characters trying to unpack what they want with life. And it's really great because not only is it very good by rep, but it's also got a trans side character. So her brother is trans, and it's great because when they introduce him, it's like very much, it's only been a few years since he changed his name and cut his hair and started hormones, but it feels like I've always known him this way.
Hmm.
And like they never dead name him, they never like do anything to like say any differently, other than like sometimes in memories they'll be like, I remember when me and like Sam, I think that's his name, was like me and Sam would do this with our mom. And it kind of like you could see like, oh, we both had this long hair that our mom had and stuff. And so it's very much rep done very well in that respect. Um, there is a scene where like this one character is like, well, just like go lesbian for college or whatever. And then like, because that's what a lot of people do is like they'll go lesbian and then settle down with a man. Like that's what so many people do. And like
Hmm.
they're just, bi until they decide what lane they want to pick. And it like always comes from a lesbian character kind of being dismissive of bisexual characters in the story, despite the lead being bi. So it comes off more as like lesbophobic in that like, oh, well, all lesbians think this, which kind of sucks. Like that's the one critique that I really have of it is
Yeah.
like it does feel a little lesbophobic at times.
Yep. Not
Um,
great.
but it is a really good story, and it's very like it kind of scratched that like sports romance itch. And the ringer that they brought in is a former soccer player. So I'm like,
There you go.
yes, okay, queer soccer player. I'm here for it. I love a queer soccer player.
That's like there's that sports GL that just got announced, I think.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The
I
sports are
need it.
coming for you.
I need it so bad. I'm still coming off of like FC Sold Out. I really want to rewatch it. Like everything sports is like just injected into my veins right now. My soccer team is not doing well, so I think I'm like coping with like all other forms of whatever soccer and sports I can inject in other ways.
Yeah.
I will take
Yeah.
because I'm just like, well, I can't watch my team. So, like, we
Hey,
fired our head coach this year and got our assistant coach to step up, and he's doing the same things that our head coach did. So, I'm just like, throw it all in the bin. I don't even want to do it. We had season tickets last year, and now I can't even bring myself to watch a game on TV.
fictional
So,
sports. That's where you need to go.
yeah, I'm like, I'll take the fictional sports. My teams actually win sometimes in those.
Exactly. Okay, I think that's a wrap up.
Yes.
We probably rambled enough about all the things.
I was gonna say, we went from like venting about physical media and not having that to me like being angry at my own sports team here.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know, just one of those days.
It is, but it's okay. Um,
Yes.
tell us what you're reading or watching or listening to in the comments.
Yeah.
Um, if there's anything we mentioned that you've watched or read, let us know what you thought. We always
Yes.
like opinions.
If you like this, then subscribe so you can see more of it
Hmm.
because We do post our wrap-ups every month, or that's what we're trying to do. And we do talk about other media other than just our wrap-ups.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, subscribe so you can see more of us.
I need to tell Alex something.
What do you need to tell Alex?
Alex, she got me into Utah.
Yes, I actually have that on my list of things to talk about today.
Good.
What?
Good job.
I have that on my list of things to talk about.
Crap.
I do, right there. Kiddo has gotten super into Utah
My cat
lately.
woke.
See?